belong in a trash bag on a loading dock? That's the question I asked them, but they didn't have an answer. I'm in Atlanta. It's March 2021. And in Atlanta, in March, it's spring. So it's warm, the birds are chirping, and I'm driving. My phone rings, it's a 718 number. I think it's Brooklyn Boulevard. That's where my dad lives. We call it a studio, but it's a senior living facility. We decided as a family that's where he should live after dealing with bipolar depression for far too long. He's 78 years old, and he didn't know he had it until about 10 years ago. But it's been really hard, and we were really worried about him. So he said, I'll go. And this was a really nice place. Corinne had called me in March 2020 to let me know that they were going to quarantine for some virus that was going around. So I called my dad and I said, you okay? You want to come stay with me? I'm cool. It's fine. It's not going to be that long. No problem. It wasn't cool. And it was that long. So I pick up. I regret to inform you, your father passed away today. We found him face down in his studio at 9 this morning. I don't think you're ever ready for that call. I wasn't. So I called my mom. She reminds me to pull over because I can't breathe right now. Then I called my sister, and she asked me to stop talking so she could cry. Then I call his cousin, and he screams and hangs up out of shock. And then I continue all the other calls that you have to make. And a couple of hours later, Corinne calls me back. And I say, Corinne, I need to go get his things. I'd only been in Atlanta for a week. And she tells me, well, you can't come in because we're under quarantine now. But he's paid up for 30 days. So you have some time. I said, okay, well, I'm going to send some moving supplies. You can pack it up and then also take an inventory just so I know. I'm that type of person, by the way. No, we're not movers. So we'll just put them in trash bags and leave them on a loading dock. I stopped crying. She thinks he's small. They think we're small. But I'm not fucking small. So I went to work. I'm gonna call David because David, he knows Trish and he also knows someone at Department of Health. Then I'm gonna call Greg because Greg works for Senator Gillibrand and he'll get her on the phone. And then I'm gonna call Olivia Pope. She's not Olivia Pope, but she's Olivia Pope. And she gets shit done. And by Wednesday, we're on the phone and I say, whose things belong in trash bags and to be left on a loading dock? Black and brown poor people? They didn't have an answer. But by Friday, that door opened. And by Monday, I was in front of his door of his studio apartment. And I'd spent the last 7 days fighting for him and not grieving. So I'd forgotten he was gone until that very moment. And I'm at his door, hoping that he's still not inside. You know, like his spirit. And when I open, he's not, but his things are. And the first thing I see is this picture of him with his friend Leroy. But this was the time, I think, when their names were Leroy and Barry. See, my dad's name is Amin. His friend is Amiri. You might have heard of him, Amiri Baraka. 2 guys from Newark who were artists. They just wanted to be artists. And then one day, I think you guys know it as the Newark riots, but in our family, we call it the Newark Uprising. And they went around to help people. And then the cops pulled them over. And according to my dad, they beat the shit out of us and they would have killed us if the neighbors didn't come out. And then they threw us in front of the loot, took a picture, put it in front of the newspaper, and blamed us for it. So we spent 2 years fighting in court. But he also had to go to jail. And I said, how was it in jail? It was fine, my friends were there, no problem. I gather his photography, his cameras, his art. He was brilliant. But when you walk through someone's life, through their things, you also see their madness. Plastic bags, bottles, in suitcases in the back of the closet. I had 4 hours, 2 movers, and 1 storage unit. I'm not taking that shit with me. And then I also saw his sexy time, and I looked away. My dad was a little bit of a misogynist, big, got little, whatever. He's working through it. So I packed it all the way up, I put it in storage, and I went back to work a week later. That's when I knew I had a problem. Hi, I'm Pi, and I'm an achievement addict. Anybody else relate? Good. Let's have a meeting. I've been working my steps. I'm on step 3. Step 1, admit you have a problem. Here's what mine sounds like. You have to be twice as good to get half as much. To whom much is given, much is expected. Fuck it, I'll do it. Sound familiar? Step 2, take inventory. Okay, so I'm not gonna go to his storage, I'll go to mine. What's coming up? I'm 22, and I work for the vice president. He wants to be the president. I'm about 2 years into what will be a 3-year journey, and I don't have a day off. But I'm in North Carolina right now, and I'm getting ready for a fundraiser. See, but when you work on a presidential campaign, it's not just a fundraiser, it's a power play. So whoever's there, it's all about power. And I get a call from my friend Carrie from the campaign. Hey, Pi, so the family wants to know who's this girl telling them what to do? Yeah, I know. So look, Carrie, just tell them, I said they have to remove the guns because if we take a picture and there are guns in the background, it's a problem. See, when I go, I represent the White House and Secret Service. So, you know, I got a little. So they need to do what I say or he's not coming. They did it. I'm 30. I work at kind of like a McKinsey firm for philanthropy. Brooks Brothers suits. I'm supposed to wear pantyhose. I don't like pantyhose. I've been there about a year. I'm talking to Bob. Bob, I am the only Black woman who's not an assistant. Yeah, I've been wanting to work on that. Will you help me? Yeah, I will. Timothy calls me. Hey, Pi, can you make sure that you put partner benefits on the list? Yeah, of course. Joanna calls. Can you ensure that we have maternity benefits? I have to make a deal with my supervisor every time I have a kid, and it depends on their mood. Yeah, I'll do that. Now it's been 2 years. I have serviced 15 clients. I have traveled for 80% of the time. I've raised about $75 million. And all those things that I just mentioned, we got it done. But I'm really tired. And not even this next client, the NAACP, is gonna make me happy. I'm ready to quit. And that's what I tell Bob. Because I didn't know that that actually wasn't my job, and I didn't know to ask for more money. I'm 45, and I am team too much. Let me tell you why. I decided to create a curriculum that I'm teaching at the New School for undergrads. I also decided that I should be a mentor at New Inc., in charge of their whole cohort for social impact. In addition, I started a company. It's 8 years old now. We've completed 100 projects, 50 clients, 15 regions around the country. We were virtual before COVID. I had this idea. I could help people. I'll bring folks together. We'll focus on storytelling and philanthropy and organizational development, and it worked. 4.6 million in revenue, 65% goes to the contractors. But I need some help, because I'm like this. So I've been talking to all these investors because right now, everybody wants to give money to Black women entrepreneurs. And every time I talk to one of the investors, they tell me, it's just not the right fit. You're a little further along than we like to invest in. Great. Actually, I think if you had more people, that'd be a lot easier for us. Okay. But this is the call. This is the one I've been waiting for, because this is John. And John is a compassionate leader. And John believes in Black women. He really gets it. So Sonia and Michonne and I are on Zoom with John. John, here's where I need your help. It's 2 areas. I want to build a fund to subsidize a lot of my clients. They're mostly Black women who are running nonprofits or their own businesses. And we help them, but sometimes they even have to say no because they can't even afford the scaled fee structure that I created. I also need help to scale this business. I need someone to invest in it, so it's not just me. John says, let me put on my asshole hat. That's the compassionate leadership we've been waiting for. You know, you're really thinking like a minority. Did I mention that John was Asian? Nobody's going to give you that much money. You know what you should do? You should just charge more. Yeah, but John, the whole thing is that no one's investing in Black women's businesses or the nonprofits they're doing. It kind of defeats the purpose to do that. That's why I wanted the subsidy fund. Yeah, I mean, I can connect you with some folks. No, I actually have a good network. So I have to do more now because it's still not enough. Be more. Step 3, make amends. I have to ask myself, who have I hurt? Me. I took care of everybody else but me. So my amends is a living amends. My sobriety date is July 2021, and over the last couple of years, my life has changed. I take naps now, so I'm not as tired. I go for walks with my puppy. His name is Osho. Date night's a thing, right, babe? And I say no more than I say yes. And that makes me less angry. And sometimes people will ask me, aren't you glad that you had the expertise and the network to help get your dad's door opened? Nope. Because I don't know why I had to. But they're sick and suffering too. And you know, my dealer is just around me anyway, like all of us, because we're all addicted to something, you know? So now that you've been in my meeting, let's have one just for you. Come on in. Do you know what your addiction is yet? Let me take you through the steps. Step 1, admit you have a problem. If you think you have a problem, you probably have a problem. Step 2, take inventory. So if you feel comfortable, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just think, how does this come up in your life? What are you too much of? Do you have too much food? Too much booze? Too much sex? Too much hate? No shame, no blame. This is your inventory. Okay. Open your eyes. Step 3, make amends. Who do you owe an apology to? Yourself? Are you ready to forgive? Can you ask for forgiveness? It's uncomfortable, right? Just to be honest and do the work we've been talking about for the last 20, maybe 200 years. Work we all have to do, but we keep focusing on the work. But the work is in here. The work is always in here. We got to fix this before we can fix this. My name is Ankhra. I am an entrepreneur, an artist, an activist, a daughter, a sister, a friend. But what I'm really working on right now is just being human. That's all. So I'm going to keep working my steps. And I'm going to invite you all to consider working on yours too. Thanks for letting me share. I'll see you at the next meeting.